So there's a YouTube channel called Cruise where they have debate sessions on trending topics or like relevant issues in society. Sometimes it's in groups, sometimes they call one person and then 20 people get to ask them a question. I think it's the Nigerian version of Jubilee, which is also an American version of what I just described. So I watched this episode where they brought an HIV positive person and 20 people asked interesting questions on how he's able to survive. And it was so good. I'll put that in the description below. You can also watch it. And I really enjoyed watching. It was refreshing. Like a lot of the time, we're just having unprotected sex. The only thing we are worried about is pregnancy. But bro, STIs? No, STIs are just another level of STI. No, 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 no. It's not just about once you're living with HIV, there's medication that you can take that after 6 months you become undetectable and then your partner is safe or you can still have safe sex. It's not just that, but the whole idea of living off medication for the rest of your life. Like some of us, even taking ordinary para is a problem. Talk of taking medicine for the rest of your life. I think the first few months you feel very sick and weak. And apart from HIV, there's hepatitis B, there is syphilis, there's gonorrhea, there's so many STIs. And I think we have to start creating a lot of awareness about these things because, bro, pregnancy is not the only thing you should be afraid of. Yeah, pregnancy is responsibility, but Charlie, STIs are real, man. Anyways, welcome to another episode of the Kimberly Hour podcast. And I am your host, Eileen. As usual, you're promised to have a good time every time you tune in into the Kiloway Hour podcast. So stay locked in. I hope you had a lovely week. Today we are shooting early because I'm not going to be around for the weekend and I don't know if where I'm going to be, the network is going to be good and I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk missing an episode. So it's like, you know what? Let me just shoot early and then I can post by Friday and then I can have peace of mind because I cherish my peace of mind. Yeah. So this week, I was scribbling through the list of topics that I have already discussed and I'm yet to discuss. And I was like, things I did growing up, things I enjoyed growing up as a Ghanaian. My childhood was fun. And the reason why I was saying it was fun was because there were so many things that we did that now when we look back at it was like the generation of kids growing up now. I'm missing a lot. It's all about video games and iPads and iPhones. So boring. We don't hang out anymore. We don't socialize properly anymore. And honestly, I love me some good old days vibes. So some of the things that stood out to me was things that elderly people will tell you. If you hit somebody with the broom, your mother will give birth to a broom. And this was me, 6-year-old me, believing that if I hit someone with broom, my mother will give birth to a broom. And mind you, I didn't grow up with my mother. I was like, oh, how would I feel if my mother got pregnant and she gave birth to a broom? And it was like some whole different kind of level of emotional blackmail. But I get it. Like, why the hell would you even want to be hitting somebody with a broom? Why would you want to hit someone with a broom? It doesn't make sense. It's not good. I think probably they were trying to preach against violence or something. Like, come to think about it, it doesn't make sense. Singing at night invites snakes. To be honest, yeah, there was a time I watched a Nigerian movie and I think it was a snake boy or snake girl. I don't remember. And then every time the guy played his flute, the person will pop up. And then they fell in love. and then she got cured or something like that. I don't really remember the whole basis of the movie. So this singing at night attracts snakes. would I be? Would you think I'm crazy if I would say sometimes I deliberately used to sing at night or like sing when I'm close to a bush? They say sometimes when you're singing close to a bush, snake can come out just to see if a snake will come out. Because I just want to see a snake and see if it will turn into a human being. I was curious like that, but now that I'm older, please. I don't want no snakes, no human snake, nothing. I rebuke you in Jesus' name. If you leave water inside fufu water, you see ghosts. Personally, I wasn't interested. I know I contradict myself when I say I wanted to see snakes and snake people, and now, but the same me didn't want to see ghosts. What do I want to see a ghost for? So that was something that there was a part of me that was curious, but not curious enough to want to try it. Like I just thought, how would it be like being able to see ghosts? Because at the time there was this series on Bassat One, Ghost Whisperer. And she could see ghosts, and it seemed so interesting because she was helping the ghosts go into the light. But come to think about it, how that one how is that one my concern? Please, God will do his job. I cannot come and take God's job from him. But yeah, so movies like that would take my curiosity, like, how would it be like to see ghosts? But not curious enough, never, to go and wash my face with what? Pounding an empty mortar would make your mother's head ache. Does it work though? No, I don't think it works. And then there was one that it wasn't an adult that said it to me though, but like back in primary school when we used to say all these things to scare each other, or like sometimes we'll say like interesting stories that our parents or uncles have told us that has happened in the area or happened in their past. And then one girl, she told me that if you know how when you wake up in the morning there's this like moist kind of speck thing in your eye that you take out. She said dogs have some, but a uncle or someone told her that when you take the speck out of the dog's eye, when you take it out of the dog's eye, also you put it on your eye, you see the spiritual realm. I don't know how true that is, but no, I don't think I was curious enough to see the spiritual because the spiritual realm sounded like a scary place back then, like when we were talking about rapture and then demons and Jesus is coming, hellfire. There was this Angelina story going on. So I was actually afraid of the spiritual side. I don't know why me, I will now go and now take speck from dog's eye because the dog see spiritual things. So if you go and take that thing from their eye, you will see spiritual things. No, thank you. Oh, then there were Peggy Upon books. Like growing up, I don't know if you didn't read Peggy, at least one. And there's no way you can read one Peggy Upon book and not read five more. No. End of the Tunnel, Silver Spoon. I loved those two because it was like a part one and a part two. I think the Green Suitcase. I never read No Roses for Sharon. I heard it was a good book. I still want to read it. I never read Julia's Dance, but there was a summary of Julia's Dance on the Junior Graphic. So I read about the summary, but I wanted to read the actual book because it seemed so interesting. Then I read Scars of Love. I read The Black Hill, The Red Haifa, The Green Sunset, or something like that. Yes. I read a whole lot of Peggy Upon books, but the ones I didn't read was No Roses for Sharon and Julia's Dance and Peggy Upon. Oh my god. Reading Peggy Upon books made me feel like I could be a writer. I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to write books that will make people also, be like, oh, who's this girl? Wow, I want to see her. Like, I know you get what I mean because if you've read a Peggy or poem book, then you and I can relate. Like it makes you feel like you can also write a story. It makes you feel like you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. I said what I said. Peggy Upon, oh my word. But funny enough, I read Peggy Upon books in as much as there was a trend during GHS. I read it in SHS. Like a little, I think after BC, we're waiting for our results and stuff. Yeah, into Form 1, Form 2. And those days, I used to read a lot. My dad was always buying me books. If there's one thing I like about my childhood, when my dad and I when my dad and I are not fighting, it means I'm reading. So sometimes I feel like that was a good escape for me because oh, my dad likes people who are bookworms. So and I also loved reading storybooks. So it's like okay, at least I'm doing something I like and it is also something he likes as well. So that is when we don't fight. Apart from that, we are normal Tom and Jerry living our lives. I eat a power book on banco. Yeah. My dad used to buy me Shakespearean books like back in DHS when I was reading um Julius Caesar. And it's not the revised version of Julius Caesar where I could understand the English. He, D, O, D, die, do. I didn't understand most of what I was reading, but I was just like, I was just okay reading it because, like, let's peace reign. And then there were a lot of Anansi books as well. There were like a collection, so Anansi and that and other stories inside a very big book. And I think I still have those books in my dad's house. We'll carry our money and go and buy books with song lyrics inside, and we'll be singing it like we're going to write exam tomorrow. Abigail Adoboy. I'm not going to forget. Abigail Adoboy was one of my accomplices when it comes to that because we are going to make that singing noise together in the class. So, of course, in life, you need an accomplice. And then Barbie was a thing. You'll be watching TV. Like, if you have the CD, we're always buying cassettes. You go and buy CD and then that John Barbie nice on it where you go and play it. Shaolin Soccer. Hey, daddy, it pained me because I bought the CDs all the way from Medina. And I was living at Spintex. I was coming back from high school, like boarding house, vacation. I bought this CD, seeing all these collection of movies, excited that my vacation is going to pop because at the time I wasn't really fond of social media like that now. By then, now social media about fresh. We're just doing those Facebook pictures. Yeah, it's our Facebook, no man. So I was more of a movie person. So I always buy CDs. The number of times my dad has seized CDs and I'll go and buy. By then, Grandpa CD was one CD, 50 pesos, plenty. 10 different movies on one CD or 20 different movies on one CD. 20 different cartoons on one CD. If you buy one CD, you can watch, and I will binge watch everything. Those were the days. But these days, when I watch movie, first 5 minutes I'll just sleep off. Is hard. It's really hard. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's like the movie helps me sleep. It helps me sleep that I could just be watching the movie and I'll sleep off. Like I'll just go. And oh my god, if you didn't play in the rain as a kid, I don't know. You had, I think it's part of the trauma that you suffered as a kid or something. It's affecting your life right now because playing in the rain, stop it. I'm going to fall sick afterwards, but it's worth it. I mean, and it used to make me feel like one of those telenovela kind of girlies, like playing in the rain, waiting for Antonio. Yes, to come and dance with me in the rain, or like High School Musical when Troy and Gabriella are dancing in the rain. um, I don't know, I'm getting emotional. I thought my life was gonna end up like, a fairy tale. I'll sing and then I'll meet a guy who can sing and then we'll fall in love and we'll have singing babies. But guess what? Life isn't like High School Musical. I have bills to pay. There's no time to sing unless I'm in the bathroom. Then there was this aspect of science where we did like a single circuit and a double circuit to produce light. I think my whole life, the science, no, that's what I remember. That's I think that's the only experiment we really ever did when it came to science. So you use the tiger head batteries, one at the negative, one at the positive, connects to some nyoma nyoma B. Then there's a small bulb. And it was so cool. It was so cool. I felt like I could be an electrical engineer or something. I could produce my own cars or something. There's something about when I'm in a space where I can practice something and I'm good at it. I just start getting big imagination. If I could do that, then I could do anything. Then there were the games that we played. Once upon a time, I played Kotonklo, where we use blade to cut. But I actually liked playing Kotonklo. We didn't necessarily use sand because I don't know. We didn't necessarily use sand, but we used the leaves too, like just leaves and then water and pretend as if we are cooking. And I enjoyed the way when you roll. You know how they do the kontomire and they roll it, then they cut. I don't know that process is even to date when I see them cutting kontomire, like when they put the leaves together and they roll it and then they start dicing the kontomire. I just like the design every time you make a cut. Probably I sound crazy right now, but you don't see what I see. So you just see they're cutting kontomire, but to me I see art like, hey, let fair. Sorry. Let fair. So I always wanted to be the one who cuts the leaves because like that was my practice to I like the design, like I like how it goes, I like how the knife slices the leaves. But we didn't use knife, we used blade to cut the leaves. Yes. And guess what? Now I'm old enough to cook and I don't like cooking. Life. I'm old enough to cook and I don't like cooking. Don't. Cooking feels like a chore. But I enjoy my cooking though. No two ways about that. Then there was one time foolishness almost killed me and I went to play chimpe with the boys. I don't know what happened that I carried myself to go and play chimpe with the boys in my class. Not all the boys, I think like a selected few. Or Stephen Pat? I don't know. But like yeah, like a few boys who played chimpe. And boys are so smart. They know that girls will buy and girls will spend their money. So they will always, and you're always supposed to keep your fingers crossed. And I would forget myself. And I'm a foodie. I like food. I regretted. And after then, I didn't play chimpe again because I said no. Those who have the heart to play chimpe, they should play their chimpe. I'm not about to buy my food, about to eat, and I have to divide the food into half. What did you contribute? You that are coming for the half, what did you contribute? There was ampi, okonto, oshreti, fork and knife. Give me the bomb. You just give me the bomb. So, oh God. I feel like we should have adult games one of these days. Like, all people from my time, we should gather one day and have adult games. Those good old games that we used to play and enjoy. And yes, we have work, we are busy, but let's make time. What? What? Let's make time. Ah, anyway. Then there was Mada Mada Mada. Is your bottle shaking? Me, I like that game because it was an opportunity for me to twerk my little bumble. Yeah, to show them that I was Tyler in the making, even though at the time I did not know Tyler existed. But yeah, that was one reason why I liked that game. Because like your bum bum, you be, oh, it's your butt shaking. It puts the energy inside. But nothing. Growing up, my report card was always clever but playful. Could do better. I was smart, but they say I play too much and I can do better. But can't the two collaborate? Oh yeah, baby, make we collaborate. We have to collaborate. Then when they are teaching, and all of a sudden, yes, Eileen, what was the last thing I said? But madam, you knew I was not listening, so why are you asking me? Why you sabotage me like this? My school fees pays your salary. Why would you sabotage me like that? The pie shit. Then now my face have drawn all. I'm like, bro. That was not good of me. And it was not good of you too. One thing I don't miss is BDT, pre-tech. No. Like I kind of enjoyed some aspect of that subject, like the reading aspects, where you get the how to mix the mortar, lay bricks, ning your man. But there were some aspects of BDT that I didn't like. And I like the drawing aspect of when you are using your drawing board and then you have to do vanishing point one, vanishing point two, and then you drawing some bricks and layers and things. I I liked that part, but there were some other aspects of BDT. I didn't want to be no carpenter or a mason. Like I didn't need that. I wasn't going to use it for anything. It was just taking up brain space. That to date I can still remember some of them. Like I needed that brain space for something else. Something happened in church that reminded me of something I was fond of doing back in school, which wasn't good, I know. But well, it's part of the experience. Our pastor's wife was celebrating her birthday, I think, and she was giving a testimony. Da da da. We had finished the service, and she had finished sharing her testimony and all that. But I think our pastor was making an announcement, and by then I was standing at the back of the church, um, making coffee to drink. At the end of the day, we had closed, and then it was just like some overtime that we were staying. There were some adults with me at the back there, and then I don't know if at the time science and maths quiz something like that was trending or so, and we're talking about high school. No, I brought up the topic of high school. Like I asked one of the um ladies which school did she go to, like if she schooled in Ghana, which school did she go to. She was like, oh, she went to Infantiman. And then you know how we do these debates like, oh, Infantiman's also in school and now like that kind of thing. So that's what we're doing. So we're having that banter about high schools, which school is best at winning stuff. Like she wasn't the only one. There was another lady there. I think we were four, so I don't remember, three or four. No, we were three. And then we were not making noise though, but obviously we were in our own world. Just for me to hear pastor saying, what is going on at the back there? And the whole church have turned to see what is going on at the back there. Eee, like the girl should enter for the ground should open for me to enter. Cause tell me why it took me back to school. That I'm always sitting at the back and the teacher will always ask what is happening at the back there. And I'm always involved. When there is something happening at the back, I am always involved. I was keeping a clean slate until that Sunday. Like I go to church, I sit down quietly, listen to the word, demure, comport myself, like for all these past years, just for that one Sunday to take me back to what is going on at the back there. And Eileen was involved. Why? Eileen, why are you like this? Do you have to be? Do you have to take the drama everywhere you go? Yeah, I do. I mean, how else would you remember me? How else? The life of the party. Look, sometimes I know I can come off as dramatic or as a nuisance, but trust me and believe me when I say mostly it's not deliberate, it just happens, right? God is using me to bring light into your life. So just accept it in good faith, okay? Mm. Back in my high school, um, there was a place not too far from the school. They used to bake fresh bread every morning. I think around 6:30 the bread is ready. If you don't go early, it will finish. So that was back then when I used to be obsessed about bread. These days I'm not too obsessed about bread. After high school, I don't know. The thing just vanished from my inside. When I was obsessed about bread, my favorite bread, tea bread and butter bread. Especially tea bread. The reason why I like tea bread was the flour that they sprinkle. Oh Lord. I just enjoyed tasting the flour, feeling the texture of the flour, like my hands being filled with flour. Oh, I just love tea bread. Tea bread is beautiful, sensational. When I buy tea bread without flour on it, I feel like there's something missing. A part of me has been taken away. So please, if you want to give me tea bread, sprinkle that flour on the tea bread. That's what makes it tea bread. Tea bread without flour is not tea bread. It's just plain bread. Yeah, I said what I said. Anyway, so when I buy the bread, I buy cheese. I used to love bread and cheese more than bread and butter. I buy cheese and I put it inside. Now that was a crazy combination with La Casera. La Casera. But I'm coming to the drink aspect of things. That's a crazy combo. Then um I remember I used to live around Malik. It's also somewhere Spintex, should I say? Yeah, you pass through Spintex to Greater Estate to the back of Greater Estate. It was this area. I think it was like a developing area at the time. And when you're coming from Malik, the Malik Junction there's this woman that used to sell Hausa Cocoa, and right beside her, there's another lady who sells bread and egg, aka Chibum. That one too was one of my favorite. I buy tea bread with egg, then they toast the bread for me. Sheldon would say sensational. Sensational. It was beautiful. It was just such a delight to my stomach. My butterflies just be jumping for joy when that morning when it's in the morning because I'm going to experience something so beautiful. But what I didn't like about my lake was when it rains very heavily. I remember there was one time it rained so heavily and it wasn't June 3rd. It rained so heavily that we were not getting taxis because the taxis couldn't risk water getting into their engine and all that. And the water was on knee level. Mind you, there was a very big bridge um inside my lake. And when the bridge gets full, it covers everywhere. So if you are walking and you're not careful, you will enter the gutter. If you're not walking on the bridge, you enter the gutter and you might drown. So it was very scary. One evening, it was raining, and the rain didn't look like it was going to stop anytime soon. So we picked a taxi, and then the closest they could get us to was like the junction, and we had to walk home. And it was still raining, and only God was the one that helped us through that rain, because water was at knee level. Like I had to raise my uniform above my thigh. My shoes were wet, my socks, my part of my uniform was even wet. That was one thing I didn't like. I don't know if right now they fixed up that place, but that was one thing I didn't like about my leg, to be honest. Like, was with all this flood. So as I was speaking about Lacasera being a very being a very mad combo, crazy combo with the bread and egg or bread and cheese. My top drinks back then was Lacasera, obviously, 10 over 10 planets. And I had this friend here. He always used to order planets every morning. Like there was a provision shop right opposite the school, just in front of the school. Every morning it's planets, sometimes planet and bread or just planets. And he liked the pink one. I think it was a strawberry or raspberry flavor. I don't remember. Every bloody morning, if not morning after school, there is no day I don't see him drinking Planet, the pink one. And that flavor was actually one of the best flavors, to be honest. There was Muscatella, then there was U Fresh. U Fresh date was for my father. My dad would always buy U Fresh when he's coming back from work. When U Fresh is frozen, it tastes like a slushy and it's really nice. I like the orange flavor. I didn't really like the pineapple because I'm not even a fan of the fruit pineapple. So, yeah, I would always prefer the orange. I mean, orange is the best fruit, and every orange drink is the best drink. Period. And there was Zoom, then there was Juvita. Oh my god. Juvita. Then Calipo. I like the Calipo strawberry. I don't know why they stopped producing that one, but Calipo strawberry and then Calipo orange were my favorites. Then when they removed the Calipo strawberry from there, it was Calipo apple. Then when they brought their new flavors recently, I like the multifruta and sometimes the cocoa pine. Yeah, when I want to feel bougie, kind of. I feel like the cocoa pine is classy. Yeah, it gives off like this classy kind of vibe. We had the almighty Muscatella. Like there was Muscatella and Muscatella orange. Those two, beautiful. I didn't really like Muscatella because Muscatella was too sugary. Like I like sweets, but I don't really like sweet drinks. The kind of sweet I like is cake. Cake. Like that's the only kind of sweet that I would say. And ice cream. Cake and ice cream. Those are the only two sweets that yeah, I can never really taste how sweet it is because they're just too good. But Muscatella was too sweet. So I always prefer the Muscatella orange, the almighty Fun Pop. I honestly don't know why they stopped producing Fun Pop because amongst all the Fun Milk products, Fun Pop was the best. Fun Pop was it was just the best. Fun yogurt doesn't come, Fun Ice doesn't come, Tampico doesn't come, or the Fun Dango they now produce doesn't come. In fact, they should have replaced Fandango with Fun Pop because Fun Pop just had this pop to it, this dream work, firework feeling when you, oh God, you should have been there to take Fun Pop. You would understand what I mean. Fun Pop? Stop it. I don't know. I think we have to do a demonstration and start advocating for Fun Pop back. Yeah. one drink I didn't like ever, and I don't know whose idea it was for them to produce it, was BB. Like, yeah, they had a very nice advert and a nice song, and my classmates were buying it all the time. But I tasted it once, and I was like, I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend the producers of BB, but I can never lie that I liked BB. No. Why would you mix juice and milk? No, 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 no. Then the shows that I loved as a kid, like these shows, well, they stood out to me. I don't know if there's anything I have missed out. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know. But these shows were the best. And with everything I've said, share your experience as well in the comment section. I want to know, am I the only one who went through this? Obviously not, but I want to know what you think. I want to know your experiences as well. Let's engage in the comment section. Now to the shows. Shri, Kundani, or whatever her name is, that evil spirit that was just bothering Shri. Then there was Jewel's Palace. I don't know if it was Jewel in the Palace or Jewel's Palace, but there was a Jewel and there was a Palace. It was a K drama. I think that's the only K drama that I was really sat and I watched. I think there was another one after that, but I don't really remember. And then Boys Before Flowers, yeah, everybody has watched Boys Before Flowers. Generations. Now I understand why the movie was called Generation, because the generation never ended. I'm sure if Vaz at one was still alive today, Generations would still be on their show. Because tell me why they were just continuing. Like, I understand generations, but everything has a beginning and the end. My mom and I will be there for one another. My mom and I, together we will storm the weather. Yeah, that one. It was. Vaz at 1 8 on that one. Yeah, Vaz at one really did well on that one. Like, My Mom and I was a very good show. Then Clinic Matters. Oh my god, I loved Abigail. And then Biliki. If you didn't like Biliki, you are the problem in today's society. Yes, you are the main reason why there's global warming and then there's war. Mm. And the reason why there's inflation. You are the main cause of all the problems in this generation and in the world, because Biliki was just, she was a character. In fact, she was the main character of the show. Yeah, the rest were cool, but like, bro, Abigail, she had attitude. Oh my god, I just love people that have attitude. They know they are who they say they are. Papa Ajasco. Ooh, me, I like Miss Pepeye because she was dramatic. Yeah, she reminds me of myself. There was Tinga Tinga. Then there was Marima, Storm over Paradise, In the Name of Love, Don't Mess with an Angel, My Sweet Fat Valentina, Hidden Passion, Second Chance. Look, Second Chance, I don't think at my age I should have watched Second Chance, but I don't regret watching Second Chance because what? Isabel? Salvador? I feel like the telenovelas that I watched is what is affecting my love life right now, because I wouldn't say I don't hate bad men, or I don't dislike bald men, even though eventually a lot of men lose their hair in the end. But it's like, I just love a man with hair. I love a man with hair, afro, curly, straight. I just love a man with hair. I'm learning to adapt because men lose their hair in their old age, so it's like, but still, I love a man with hair because Salvador, yeah, he sounds so going to act Hidden Passion. Oh Lord. Salvador? Stop it. And there was Teresa. Teresa was a beautiful movie, which made me love what life took from me. And I'm sure there was another movie she acted that I loved, but I don't remember. But Teresa and what life took from me was just beautiful, especially the fact that she and the guy she acted with, they dated and they are together till now. Like, bro, it's just beautiful. We love to see that. We love to see long lasting relationships and marriages here. Yeah, I loved Don't Mess with an Angel, but I didn't like how Marie was always suffering in every movie that I saw her in. Triumph of Love, oh, that one too, she was suffering. They didn't like it. Like, bro, why suffering they follow you everywhere like that? Marie, why? Marie, why? But one Miguel. I mean, Don't Mess with an Angel was beautiful. In the Name of Love will make you, if you close from school, you'll be watching from store to store. When they give adverts, then you move. When they give adverts, then you move. When you see that they are showing it at one store, no, you have to stand outside and be watching from. Oh God, we have lived. And there was Bernard and Leon, the wisest animals on earth. Very, very wise people. Last but not least, Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy is a beautiful show. I watched it. I watched it when I was young, like when I didn't really understand, but it was really nice. It made me want to be a doctor. But Grey's Anatomy didn't make me trust doctors because I feel like they were just eating themselves too much in the movie. Like every small thing, no, they'll eat themselves in the on-call room, they'll eat themselves in the on-call room, attendants, residents, intern, everybody's just eating each other. So to be honest, till date, I just have trust issues when it comes to doctors and nurses because like what y'all be doing in the hospitals? Is it really Grey's Anatomy that you guys be doing? Is it? But even recently in the news, there was this doctor, I don't know if it was in Australia or Switzerland, but one country like that, in the middle of a surgery, left, a complicated surgery at that, left for a break just to go and eat another nurse. And I think one nurse walked into them by mistake and something like that, and she reported. And it's like, couldn't you have waited till after? Like, is the nurse going to evaporate after the surgery, or she will die after the surgery, or like, oh my god, men. So it's like, I can't really trust doctors and nurses. Nah, Grey's Anatomy just ruined my whole perception when it comes to hospital and what goes on there. Like, it's a very good show. And my sister and I are actually watching it again. And now I even love it even more. I would love to watch it again and again and again and again because it kind of makes you appreciate life in a way. Like when you see how people die in the hospital and everything that goes on stirs emotions inside you, like, oh my God, Grey's Anatomy. Beautiful. So that is gonna be all. Don't judge me. Please don't judge. That's all I'm going to be talking about today. I hope you loved this episode as much as I did, sharing my experiences. I hope you loved my experiences because I love them. There's a lot more, but that one it is for me and those that were there. If you were not there, I'm sorry. Unless you enter my head and see. So share your thoughts in the comment section. Share your experiences as well in the comment section. What are some of your childhood Ghanaian memories growing up? What did I also miss in some of the things I spoke about? What did I miss? Let me know in the comment section. Until then, see you next week. Take care.